let's talk about what's specifically for our babies. And we're focusing on the early childhood
Mhm.
age range, which starts during the prenatal phase and ends around 8. We know you have needs related to the children in your care. 3 we will talk about today are help finding and paying for childcare, how to get developmental screenings if you are concerned about any delays, and resources to meet food cost. 3 ways to help pay for childcare are through NC pre-kindergarten, Child Care Subsidized Assistance Program, and Head Start. One option for paying for childcare services is to see if your child is eligible to participate in the NC pre-kindergarten program. The child must be 4 years old on or before August 31st of the program year. A child that meets the age requirement is eligible for an NC Pre-K if the child is from a family whose gross income is at or below 75% of the state median income. Children of certain military families are also eligible without regard to income. In addition, up to 20% of age eligible children enrolled, may have family incomes in excess of 75% SMI if they have documented risk factors and specific categories, including developmental disability, limited English proficiency, educational need, or chronic health condition. Although a child may meet one or more eligibility factors, placement is not guaranteed in an NC Pre-K classroom. Waiting lists exist in counties when funding is not sufficient to serve all eligible children. Local NC Pre-K contract administrators can provide specific information about the enrollment process, available programs that meet NC Pre-K program requirements, and other specific information related to the participation in NC Pre-K in your county, as well as other options for early childhood education services. The Child Care Subsidy. If a family meets certain criteria, the state of NC will pay a portion of the cost of childcare. The amount the state pays for childcare depends on the family's income or the family's situational criteria, along with the cost of the facility. To see if your income level would qualify you to receive subsidy, you go to the charts on the DCDEE website, which is found under services and then financial assistance. Different types of situations are considered, including you are working and or attempting to find work through the Work First Family Assistance Program, you are in school or in a job training program, your child is receiving child protective services, your child needs care to support child welfare services, or if your family is experiencing a crisis, or your child has developmental needs. And finally, Head Start or Early Head Start. Early Head Start is ages birth to 3, and Head Start is ages 3 through 5. And it's a federally funded program which will pay for early childhood education and care for children between the ages of birth and 5. To qualify for enrollment in the Early Head Start program, families must meet the poverty guidelines established by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. This was earlier in this discussion, we talked about McKinney-Vento, and this is important because every school has a McKinney-Vento liaison or an NC education liaison, and they can provide support for parents accessing childcare by providing referrals to childcare programs or public schools. They can help with transportation to and from childcare or school and other services. What services McKinney-Vento liaisons can tap into for families varies by the school district. Where some school systems can provide rental assistance, others do not. I just learned this at the most recent Raleigh-Wake County Joint Homelessness Task Force meeting, but I also know that they can also link your child to health and education services such as tutoring and things of that nature. You just have to check in with your NC education liaison to see what would be helpful to you. There are a couple of ways to find childcare near you. One way is to use a search tool on the Division of Child Development and Early Education website. That's the DCDEE website. On this tool, you can provide the zip code where you are, your city or your county, and you can click on the button yes, where it asks if you want a program that is enrolled in the subsidized childcare program. Then click search. The tool pulls up a list of programs near you which might be able to provide childcare services. If you would like one-on-one assistance finding childcare, you can call Childcare Resource and Referral. They have family referral specialists who will help you discover the early care and education and school-age programs available in your community, answer your questions, and provide additional information so that you are as informed as possible making your decision. When you call, your referral specialist will gather your family information to help with your search, assess needs and preferences, and explain the different types of childcare available. They will explain childcare rules, meaning whether they're star rated license and the NC North Carolina star rated license. Discuss the importance of making program visits and what you should observe or the quality indicators that you should ask during a program visit. They will also discuss the cost of childcare and provide information that may help cover the cost of care and provide referrals to licensed or license exempt legally operating programs. If you suspect your child may have a developmental delay, contact your local children developmental services agency. This entity is statewide. They will provide a free initial evaluation, and no family is denied services due to an inability to pay. You may also contact your local health department for resources. And this is so important because of that time frame between birth and 2 or 3, when some things that could be caught or noticed early on can be trained and addressed to provide a more bright and vibrant future for our children, despite what the challenge might be. And so the Children's Developmental Services Agency offers service coordination, physical, occupational, and speech language therapy, family support, special instruction, assistive technology, and other services. So please do not be ashamed that your child might be struggling. It's so important that they get the support that they need as early on as possible. Now, infant toddler program services end at 3. So if a child is in an infant toddler program, the early intervention services coordinator will start preparing you and your child for a transition to a preschool program or into another community setting at 2.5 years old. There are several options for evaluating and caring for younger children, for young children 3 years old and older. All children enrolled in the NC Pre-K program shall receive a screening assessing the development of each child across all domains to ensure the child is growing and developing according to developmental milestones, unless the child has an existing individualized education program, which is also known as an IEP. The developmental screening shall be conducted by a healthcare, community, or school professional trained in administering the screening tool. Children shall be screened within 90 days after the first day of attendance in the NC Pre-K program or within 6 months prior to the first day of attendance. The screening shall be used for the purpose of identifying children to be referred for further evaluation and testing based on concerns in one or more developmental domains. Site level administrators shall review all developmental screening results and share resources. There is a link here where you can click on to find the different types of developmental screenings that there are and how you can tap into them. Now, we've covered a lot of information, but let's keep going. We're coming close to the end. This is extremely important because it's our children that we're talking about, and we need to give them the best life that they can have. The Child and Adult Care Food Program is a federally funded program administered by states. The CAC FP provides aid to child and adult care institutions and family or group home care homes for the provision of nutritious foods that contribute to the wellness, healthy growth, and development of young children and the health and wellness of older adults and chronically impaired disabled persons. When searching for childcare, you can search for one who participates by checking the CAC-FP box. In centers, participants from households with incomes at or below a 130% of poverty are eligible for free meals. Participants in centers with household incomes between 130% and 185% of poverty are eligible for meals at a reduced price. Institutions must determine each enrolled participant's eligibility for free and reduced price meals served in centers. Children who are participants of Head Start or Early Head Start programs are automatically eligible for free meals without further application or eligibility determination. Foster children who are the responsibility of the state or placed by the court are children who are children who are experiencing homelessness are also automatically eligible for free meals. A variety of free food sources and other resources are available using the Aunt Bertha tool. Aunt Bertha was built in 2010 to offer an easier way to find social services and to connect to them directly and electronically to persons in need. Aunt Bertha has since built the largest network of free and reduced cost programs in every zip code across the United States. This includes federal, state, county, municipal, and local resources in the biggest cities and the smallest towns. The Food Bank of North Carolina has a few programs to help families as well. Links to these programs are on this slide and in the chat. The Salvation, and will be placed in the chat. The Salvation Army Pantry is found in 12 different counties and, 17 different counties, and they can be a resource as well. Food stamps, many people know about food and or what is now called SNAP benefits. Also, kids summer sites, kids summer meals, which is also important. There are different sites around in every city and county. As far as I know, this is nationwide, not just in NC, because it was something that was available in Connecticut as well. So please, please, your children don't have to go hungry. There are even some organizations that have things called backpack buddies, where kids get a backpack full of food to take home. Please do not be afraid to tap into and search for these resources and ask for help where you need it. Some of the resources that I like are the NC Pre-K developmental screenings. When Wisdom was younger, the early Head Start home visits were so key, and just the support that came with that. So please check with your Smart Start representative on that. They also have one thing that I didn't list was the Dolly Parton Imagination Library that you can connect to within the Smart Start program. That is an amazing resource that gets you books to your child every month. And I know being transient can be really challenging. From birth to 5, that's like 60 books they end up with. But if you can find one person that will accept those books for you, your child has a resource library that will begin to train their brain from birth, and it's amazing. I just couldn't speak highly enough of it, because one of the things that our children need the most of, especially at this time, is conversation and being read to in order to develop their their vocabulary. Another resource that people can tap into that I like is the One World Everybody Eats website. This is a pay what you can this is a pay what you can. These highlight pay what you can cafes. There happen to be 3 in North Carolina, and this means that you can go there and either eat for free for a reduced cost, or you can volunteer for your meal. And I know for many people this is incredibly helpful. In Durham, there is a place that we discovered called the Community Cafe that's open Monday through Friday. You can go in for breakfast from 8 to 9, eat there and grab a bag lunch, and then you can return back at 6 o'clock for dinner. And also the Salvation Army here on Capitol Boulevard, our family shelter, they give out a free dinner Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 5:30. Sometimes it's just a dinner, sometimes it's a snack bag. It just depends on their resource, but it is can be extremely helpful to people in times of need. And so I invite you to tap into these resources. If you're in the if you're in Wake County or Durham County, if you're abroad, please don't hesitate to look and ask.